Hey Stackers. So for over the last 70 years, we've been told that the US has one of the largest gold reserves in the world, clocking in at around 261 million ounces, all spread out amongst a number of vaults across the US. But how reliable is this number? And more importantly, why should we even care? So let's talk about reliability first. So one of the most famous gold vaults in the world is located in Kentucky. It's called Fort Knox. Fort Knox is said to store about 147 million ounces of US gold, yet almost nobody has been allowed meaningful access into its vaults to verify anything since the 1950s. Rather, most of the vault's audits have consisted of checking vault seals and reviewing the internal controls, but no regulator since the 50s has been allowed to conduct a full bar-by-bar count or verify the purity of each bar. Skeptics, including members of Congress, have been warned for years that there may be a reason why regulators haven't been allowed into Fort Knox, that if they were to properly audit the gold, they'd find that some of it may have been leased out to another entity or replaced with bars of lesser purity. Concerned that we may not have the amount of gold that everyone expects that we should have, last year the Gold Reserve Transparency Act was introduced into Congress. Although it's yet to be passed, the act does call for a comprehensive audit of all U.S. gold reserves to be conducted every 5 years. Now let's look at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. So deep beneath Manhattan sits one of the largest concentrations of gold on Earth, stored about 80 feet below street level. But here's the part most people don't realize. Roughly 98% of that gold does not belong to the United States. Rather, it belongs to more than 60 foreign nations and international institutions, including countries like Germany, Italy, and Japan. These countries, many of them, moved their gold there during and after World War II for safekeeping. So here's the uncomfortable truth. If Fort Knox does not actually contain the gold the government says it does, and most of the gold in New York's Federal Reserve belongs to other countries, then the U.S. may not control anything close to the 261 million ounces it officially reports. Even worse, if it ever became public that America's gold reserves were substantially lower than reported, the confidence in the dollar would crater and the price of gold could go parabolic. So is Fort Knox a fortress of wealth or a 70-year-old illusion? We won't really know until the Gold Reserve Transparency Act is passed and independent auditors are allowed full, unrestricted access to the U.S. vaults. Until then, we're left with a simple choice. Place our blind faith in a system built on lies, broken promises, debt, and money creation, or protect ourselves with real, tangible assets. I know what choice I'm making. How about you?